There is a wire running from your gut to your brain. Most people imagine it works one way. The brain decides and the body obeys, but that is not what the wire actually does. Inside your body is a long, wandering nerve that connects your stomach, your intestines, and your brain in a single loop. Scientists call it the vagus nerve. And when researchers counted the fibers running through it, they found something that breaks the picture most of us carry around. Most of those fibers do not carry orders downward from the brain to the gut. They carry information upward, from the gut to the brain. Somewhere close to 80% of the traffic on this nerve flows in that direction. Your stomach is not just receiving instructions. It is constantly reporting. Every stretch of your stomach wall, every shift in your gut bacteria, every trace of inflammation, every change in digestion, all of it gets converted into signals and sent upward, into a part of the brainstem most people have never heard of, called the solitary nucleus. From there, those signals spread into the regions that shape mood, stress, and alertness, often before a single conscious thought forms. To understand why this matters, you have to look at what is actually living inside your gut wall. Wrapped around your intestines is a mesh of neurons so dense that scientists have started calling it a second brain. Not a metaphor. An actual nervous system, built from somewhere between 100 million and 500 million neurons, more than you would find in the spinal cord. This second brain does not need permission from your skull to act. It can sense, decide, and respond entirely on its own, coordinating the slow muscular waves that move food through your body without a single instruction arriving from above. But it does more than manage digestion. It manufactures chemicals that define how you feel. Most people assume serotonin, the molecule tied to calm and stability, is made in the brain. It is not. Well over 90% of the serotonin in your entire body is produced in the gut, by specialized cells lining the intestinal wall. That serotonin cannot simply drift upward and bathe the brain directly. There is a barrier protecting the brain from exactly that kind of traffic. So instead, the gut does something more clever. It uses that serotonin locally to trigger nerve endings, and those nerve endings fire signals up the vagus nerve toward the brain. The chemical itself stays below. The message it creates travels up. There is a second layer to this story, and it is even stranger. The bacteria living in your gut, trillions of them, are not passive passengers. Some species can produce their own versions of the same molecules your brain uses to communicate. Compounds that resemble serotonin, compounds that resemble dopamine, compounds that resemble the calming signal called GABA. Your gut microbes are, in a very real sense, speaking a language your nervous system already understands. They release these signals, your gut senses them, and that information gets folded into the same upward stream heading toward your brainstem. Which means a population of organisms too small to see may be quietly shaping the chemical weather of your mind. This rewires a question people rarely think to ask. When a feeling rises up with no clear cause, where did it actually begin? The tight knot before a hard conversation. The unease in a room that feels wrong before you can explain why. The sudden, unearned calm after a meal. Some of that may not begin as thought at all. It may begin far below conscious awareness, as a chemical shift in the gut, converted into an electrical signal, carried upward along a nerve built mostly for exactly that purpose, and arriving in the brain disguised as an emotion. For most of history, we treated the brain as the seat of the self, issuing commands, and the gut as plumbing underneath it, quietly obeying. But the wiring tells a different story. The gut is not just downstream of the brain. In many ways, it is upstream of it, feeding the brain a constant, almost wordless stream of reports about the state of the body, and in doing so, helping write the emotional script the brain ends up performing. Your gut feeling is not just a turn of phrase. It might be one of the oldest forms of communication your body has, running in the opposite direction from the one you always assumed.